Welcome to my first park tour. Hello and welcome back to Triclaw Gaming with me, Fletcher, and today I've got a bit of a different video for you. I'm going to be giving you a tour of one of my completed sandbox parks built here on San Diego, and this was before any mods or anything, so this is as vanilla as it's going to get for me. But before we start going around the whole park, please do consider liking and subscribing to the channel if you have not already done so, and commenting down below about what you think of my park. So, welcome to which was San Diego Water Park. My intention was to build a park mainly focused on the lagoons here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a wander around, and I'm just going to talk to you about what my thought process was here, and also give you some maybe tips and tricks along the way as we go. So this is the entrance, as we can see here, and this is sort of my little entrance plaza. It's a very simple one. Let's not do that. It's a very simple entrance plaza. I've got the main shops though here, but you can already see that we've got a theme developing. I'm going to stick, you'll see this theme throughout the park, I'm going to stick with the black and the green in my Triclaw colours for all of the shops and amenities around the whole park. And what we're going to do, we'll have a wander around each sort of area, and then I'll show you a bit of an overview as well, so you can see what it looks like from the ground but also from above. So from the entrance and past the bathrooms, we have this monorail monument here surrounding a single lagoon piece, which I just wanted to use as a bit of a water feature, and in my imagination there would be fountains here or a statue here or something. Perhaps once the patch drops on March 8th we'll be able to put something in there. Now we'll start over here with our first creatures in the park. I wanted to put a few dinosaur species in and not just stick it full of lagoon animals. So in here we just have a few creatures. I'll pop over the fence just so we can have a look. Whoop, there we go. So in here we have some Nigersaurus, because I really do like the Nigersaurus. I think they're kind of adorable, and I don't understand why he gets so much hatred. And we've got some Myosaura in here as well, which is one of my personally least liked dinosaurs, and that's exactly why I used it. I still think it's ugly as anything. I'm not a fan of it. And you can see here that the way I've designed the enclosure is around this central waterhole, and I've got two viewing galleries there and one viewing gallery from the front side. And if we actually head just to this first gallery, you can see that the gallery over that side is obscured by landscape, so it doesn't stand out too much from either viewing gallery. And the same can be said from this side as well. Both galleries are obscured, so guests aren't sort of staring at one another from gallery to gallery, and it just makes the whole exhibit look a bit larger, I think. Of course, this was before all the mods, the individual placeable trees, the free build stuff, so this is pretty simple, and a lot more simple than later parks you'll see. Let's pop back across the fence though. Hup. So on the other side we have this more substantially fenced enclosure for some Cryolophosaurus. I accidentally picked a skin that actually suited the dirt texture almost to a T. But let's continue around here before we get distracted. So this is where the park starts proper, technically, is this central avenue here, and you can see that it gives a really good view, not of just the amphitheater in the distance, but it's flanked on both sides by the viewing towers. We've got this vegetation as well. It just makes for just a really, I think, powerful avenue there. We'll start on the left hand side, Actually, no, what we'll do is we'll just give you a quick overview of just that little entrance bit. So from above, that is the entrance area there. You've got the Herbivore exhibit on the right and the Cryolophosaurus on the left from the entrance. And it's very simple, but I think it works as a really good looking entrance way. And using the quite white sand there just to highlight that circle entrance, I think just works really well. But anyway, let's go back down to guest level and we'll start looking at the dinosaurs on the left hand side. We'll head to the left hand side first. So this is just the viewing gallery for the Cryolophosaurus paddock. I actually don't like how I designed this paddock. I think if I was going to redo this particular paddock again, I would have the viewing gallery on the other side near to the entrance and extend the fencing forwards to this path and a bit towards the sea as well, just to give them a bit more space, because I think it feels a little bit cramped. Back to ground level, however. So each side has pretty much a similar setup here. Along the edges of each big triangular lagoon here, we have a food place, we have a drinks place, and we have a shop. And they've all got the same colour schemes and similar decorations going on here. And something I would suggest that people do with their parks is consider when they are placing amenities and things what people are going to be seeing. Especially if you've got tables and chairs upstairs, what are they actually looking out on? So if I have a look here, we've got some really nice views of the amphitheater. We can see the lagoon from here, and we've also got views of that really nice sort of halfway visitor center modern era sort of designed building over there, which again I think makes for a nice backdrop building. And if we go to the drinks place, we've got exactly the same thing here. So think about that when you are putting your amenities in, especially if you've got tables and chairs. Sort of what are guests going to be seeing from those tables and chairs? Also, I apologize if anyone is motion sick. This is my first time doing a tour video, so I may need to tone down how much I'm moving the camera around. I'll try and do that from here on. But let's continue onwards. So we've got exactly the same on both sides as well when it comes to viewing. We've got two viewing galleries for the lagoon, and we've got a tower in between, and again they've got nice views in all directions, especially from the tower. So we've got really nice views of the lagoon, nice view of the amphitheater, and looking behind we can see also the rest of the park as well. So also consider that when you're building your parks. If you want to build them in a realistic style, think about how much else your viewing towers especially are going to be seeing, and maybe make sure there's something cool for them to see from the back. Let's, before we get to the creatures, just have a quick look at the other side of the park, of this particular section. So we've got the same thing again. We've got the amenities, exactly the same. The shop, the drinks, the food, and again the food building is located with the nice views of the viewing galleries, the amphitheater, and in the distance on this side I've used the Jurassic Park era ranger station because I think it adds a nice touch with view. It's a good sort of decorative building, I think, in distance. So let's get on with these lagoons, and what do we actually have to start with? This first lagoon, if I just dive in, we've got some Ichthyosaurus, and I attempted to get two different skins. I wanted a tiger stripe, and that was about as close as it got, which is not too bad, but I certainly would have liked something a bit more orange. And let me see if I can find the other colour pattern I've got in here. Yep, there we go. So we've got, that's not at a very good angle. That one's better. No, that's the tiger striping one again. Let's see, where the tiger... Oh, there we go. We've got the We've got a white and black. Well, it was supposed to be white and black, but it's more like grey and black, isn't it? As well in here. And I think there's about 8 of these. There you go, off you go. Just as a nice little starting creature. And heading back out of the water to the other side now. Just pop through here. In here we have, let's have a look, plesiosaurs. So we've got this nice red and spotted blue pattern, and we have, I think, is this the other colour? Looks a bit dark to be the other colour. Sunlight, please. Can I have a look? There we go. We've got this grey, a bit more dull, but perhaps more realistic pattern of this grey with spots as well. I really like the plesiosaurus. I think it's probably one of my favourite animals in the game at the moment. They're just really nicely. I like the snake look that they have going on. I know a few people have been critical of that, but I really like the snake look. Now, there is more of the park over in that direction, but I'm going to save that for the time being. Let's head up the central avenue here. And you can see we come to another sort of plaza section. We've got food and we've got drink on the left and the right. And there's bathrooms here as well. And again, I've made sure that each of the amenity buildings with upstairs seating has something nice to look out on. We've got a little bit of seating area down here, and then it comes to the amphitheater, where we have the path going around the edge, because the amphitheater holds some dinosaurs, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's head onwards to the left. So this is the first sort of staff area up here. I wanted to make it completely separate. This is obviously in the days before Kyodenic's path and fence mods came in, so I just used the different colour path to separate these off. And we've got a nice view of the visitor centre and the staff room on this side. And we've also got another lagoon here. So this lagoon on this side is again just got a tower, a couple of viewing galleries, got exactly the symmetrical sort of attempt there, 2 galleries and 2 towers. And inside here we have the Liopleurodons. This is the Liopleurodon exhibit. It's this rough sort of oval shape exhibit. Let's have a look and see if we can find some. Where are they? There they are. So we've got quite a few different colour patterns in here. We've got what I like to call the gold. It's a golden vein pattern, the yellow and light grey. Whoops. I keep pressing control instead of shift. No, shift instead of control, sorry. There's another one of the golden veins. We've got this really nice sandstone skin with the dark reddish hues. It reminds me of bauxite actually, which is iron ore for those of you who don't know that. That dinosaur is not in the best position. That one we've already had a look at. Are you? No, you're another bauxite. Now we've got this green and black pattern, which I call mint choc chip, after my favourite ice cream. And there is one more pattern in here. I need to find the other pattern. No, that's mint choc chip. Ah, there we go. This is what I like to call the fallout pattern. This irradiated, glowing green and black Liopleurodon. Which is, again, is one of my favourite skins there. So we've got quite a few Liopleurodons. And just heading the other direction now. Let's just speed through. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So again, similar thing on this side. We've got the staff area and the ranger zone, the vet zones, because we had to have vets back at Sandbox. And we've got this second lagoon on this side. We've got the 2 viewing galleries, the viewing tower. And again, they've got something nice to look at. So we've got a nice view of the monorail track here, which I think adds a nice sort of amphitheater-like feel to this particular lagoon. And inside here, if we could just see, it's quite a big lagoon, even though the animals inside are not particularly large. This is for the Attenborosaurus. Again, one of my favourites, and we've got this nice gold grey skin, and the others I think are just grey, I think. Yes, these are just sort of grey and beige. And I think there's about 6 of them in here, as loud as they are. And now let's have a look at what's in here. So this is the amphitheater zone. This is basically a whole sort of attraction on its own. We have Brachiosaurus in here, and we have Chunkingosaurus. I've put the Chunkingosaurus in here just so that there's a bit of size scaling between the Brachies and the Chunking, just to make it a bit more impressive. And the Brachiosaurus have all of their food resources inside the amphitheater. And my thinking is that there would be some hotels in this amphitheater, hotel rooms, but there'd also be perhaps some sort of live feeding show experiences that you could do, perhaps from these sort of bench areas, to feed the Brachiosaurus directly. I'm not particularly fond of the skins on the Brachiosaurus. I think they are way too bland still. You know me, I do like a good, vibrant skin, but they make for a good centerpiece, I think, for this particular amphitheater. I didn't want to just do a T-Rex or Velociraptors or something. And I think this is a really good way of using the amphitheater as well. Now, let's just have a quick look. Before we move on, I just wanted to show you what it looks like from above, again, moving backwards a bit. So we've got the 2 aviaries with the ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs at the top, heading down to the amphitheater, and then the amphitheater on the left and the right. We have 2 lagoons for larger animals. Now, before we move on, I want to show you what's sort of secretively hidden down this side. Because I was running out of space and I had missed one particular sea creature. So heading this way, past the plesiosaurs, there is another lagoon hidden at the back here. There is no attractions or anything down here, so if I was to do this bit again, I would probably put amenities down here, or do some sort of guest plaza or something like that. But it's just a very simple and long lagoon. And in here we have the Tylosaurus. This one has been modded since I built this park, so these ones look like the Jurassic Park the game Tylosaurus, hence why they're a bit chunky and a bit more menacing looking, I think. You certainly don't want to encounter one of those when you're underneath the water. Definitely very cool looking though. So that is the main part of the park. Now there is the second area which we'll head to. So guests, get on this monorail and we'll just follow the monorail track really. So heading out from the amphitheater, we have again a nice view of the entire park as we head past, and the Attenborosaurus lagoon. And then I wanted to try to make it distinctive that the areas that this monorail is going to are separate from the rest of the park. So I've been quite heavy with the vegetation here just to make it more separate and again a bit more wild. And this is part of what I would suggest people do as well. Don't be scared to waste some space just for decorative vegetation, decorative landscaping. Just put some wild areas in the park to make it feel more natural. This dead straight piece of track here, I deliberately put in. I wanted it dead straight so it would frame the back of this lagoon here, which I'm sure, as you can guess by the shark feeders, has the mosasaurs in it. Heading all the way around, This particular station just feeds the lagoon. I didn't think about using one for a hatchery and then just do it air transport. But following it around, this is the guest monorail off station. And this is its own sort of area of the park up here. And this is where all of the hotels are located. So we've got this first smaller hotel on this side. We got some view of the enclosure over there, but it's mostly just a small, simple hotel. We've got a few buildings for amenities over here again. I've gone for a few different sizes here and different pieces. A little bit of artistic landscaping with this pond. And inside this enclosure, which is weirdly shaped, I admit, it sort of looks like a pair of goggles. But we've got Elasmosaurus in here, and I've given them what I've called the rainbow texture, the rainbow skin, or the gay pride skin, if you want to call it that. Or I also think it looks a bit like how copper or bronze goes when it's been exposed to moisture, and it gets the same green that you get on the Statue of Liberty. I think it's a really beautiful skin, I think. Even though the design of the Elasmosaurus is not one of my favourites, I still think it's a very cool creature. There's quite a few of those in there. And then heading this way, we go past the additional ranger post here. Now this was put here more out of necessity than out of actual want. I had to have something at this end to keep an eye on the animals. I don't really like how it's placed. That helicopter is way too close to that monorail. It's just too dangerous. I probably would have put it on the other side if I had thought about it. But heading onwards, we then have this other area around the Mosasaur Lagoon. So again, we have guest buildings. I would personally say that this skull would not be Spinosaurus, but would probably be like a Mosasaur skull or something like that. We have 2 viewing galleries and a viewing tower, and we have 2 more hotels. Now the viewing gallery and the viewing towers, they surround one shark feeder, for obvious reasons, but the other shark feeder at the other end of the paddock is sort of hidden away. You can't really see it from the others, and it's really only visible from the hotels. So my thought is that these would be offering a more private view of the shark feeding experience from your pool or from your cabins. Not cabins, from your hotel rooms. This one gives an especially good view there. Look at that. And yeah, that would be what you're paying for with these hotels. They'd obviously be more expensive to stay in. And also, if you have a look at the views that we get from the viewing tower and the viewing galleries, the lagoon is again framed by the monorail in the background, so that gives again that amphitheater feel to it, I think. And inside, we obviously have our 2 mosasaurs. We have a greyish brown one, and our second mosasaur is this deep sort of green coloration. There we go. Just the 2. I was tempted to put 3 in, but I think it's more realistic to have just 2 because they are not exactly small creatures, are they? And you can see here that their lagoon is sort of got a thin end and a fat end just for some difference. I didn't want to just have a round one or a triangular one again. If I just stick above from sort of camera helicopter eye view here, you can see that the park is very green. Even though this is a sort of desert biome, I don't think it's unfair to use a lot of greenery and trees here. I think it makes the park look really nice and just a bit vibrant and alive. I would love to have some differently coloured trees that I could have put in, but obviously we only got those with Cardenics mod, and this was made before that. I think overall the park turned out really well for my first attempt for a sandbox park. It's a bit flat, That is my biggest criticism of the park myself, is that it's completely flat. There's no lagoons or sections of the park that are lower down or higher up or anything like that. And yeah, rebuilding the park as I am on stream, I've got a lot of different height differences and such, so that's perhaps one criticism I would level at myself about the park. However, that's basically the tour. There's not too much to go over because obviously there isn't that many dinosaurs in here, but let me know what you think of this very first sandbox park that I finished before mods or anything like that. I mean, just the base vanilla game. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And there will be other tours of my other parks as soon as they're finished, so do keep an eye out for those. But for the time being, thank you for watching, thank you for coming round my park with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.